Hello and welcome to today's tutorial. I'm going to show you how to unwrap this head. I'm going to be showing you two different ways to do this. Firstly, it will be the palette mapping way. If you do this method, you would be most likely painting in a 3D texturing program, for instance Mudbox or Murray or ZBrush. The other method I'm going to show you is to unwrap to make your life easier if you're using Photoshop to paint your textures. So what we'll do is we'll start off, we'll select the model and go and apply unwrap UVW. Again, this can be located in this list here. So if I open up my UV editor, you'll see that this is really messy at the moment and I can't really do much with it. So what we'll firstly do is we'll just apply a planar map to the actual full model. So if I select this and select one of these faces, actually I'll just drag and select all the faces. I've got everything selected now, so if I just hit planar map, it doesn't really matter which way you do it because we're not going to keep it for long. We'll just do it from the front. At this time it'll be probably good to actually because when you're using palette mapping, you need to keep these eyes, any holes you have to kind of fill them up, so we'll cap them off. So I'll close this for now. Again, I'll just collapse this and press yes and go into my edge mode, into my border mode actually. So if I select my border and select this edge here and then go on to this side and select this edge here and now hit cap, which is up here, you'll see that this is capped off now. I'll do the same for the mouth. Again, this really helps when you're pelting something. So again, that's all capped off. I got realistic shadows off and turn that off now. So that's pretty much my model is ready to be pelted. Before we do that, we have to do something else. So if I open up, apply my unwrap onto there and hit open UV editor, you can see there's these options that we haven't gone through there. There's peel, and then there's the palette mapping option, and then we have these seams. We need to tell the system to where the seams are going to be, where do you want it to pelt from. So you have to kind of declare where your unwrap is. So we're just going to use this option and go ahead and select all these seams. So this is up to you. You can use this option as well, it's much faster, but since I've already started on doing this, I might as well just carry on going. So that's pretty much my seams being selected as I go along now. Actually, edge, it's always good to be on, you have to be in edge mode in order to do this. So just to make sure I've got them all selected. So I'm just going to do that again, just make sure. Yep, I can see from there that which ones are being selected and which one are not. So if I just keep going up and just select all of them until it's pretty much complete. So there's one missing, that's probably this one here. There we go. That's pretty much selected now. We want our seam to run up to somewhere. So if we just carry on going, yeah, about that much is good. Maybe a bit more. Maybe that's too much. So let's keep it at that for now. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use this option here where we tell the tell the system to turn selected edges to seams. So it's going to turn them pretty much into these green, turn them into green, and that's basically what a seam is, so the system's going to recognize that. So if I hit onto that now, that's done. So one way to find out what we've done is if I quickly select all the faces and hit quick peel, you'll see that it peels it from that section. I mean, sometimes it's good, you could even start off with this here to actually do your pelt mapping, but we'll not do that. So what we'll do is we'll keep it the way it is, and we're gonna select the pelt option. As you can see how it's gone green here now, so that's all working. So we're gonna scale this. We get some more options here, pelt options. For instance, you can select the stretcher, you can select the UV separately to scale things down or up. We're gonna just use this one for now. Again, these are all different options you can play around with. I usually stick to the standard ones, they work well enough for me. So I'm just gonna scale this up. So if you hold Control, if you hold Shift down, Alt down, and just drag that to make it a bit bigger. I'm just gonna make it quite big, so no, it's a bit too big. Just my system is not reacting too good to the recording again. And now if I hit Start Pelt, you'll see that it kind of pulls all the faces out. So if you just hold on to that for a bit and stretch it out a bit more. Again, this option is good only for if you're painting your UVs in ZBrush or Mudbox or Mari or some of the 3D painting softwares. I wouldn't use this option at all for if we're doing this through Photoshop. So if I scale that down and fit it into my 3D space, when the computer decides to start freaking out. Whoa. So what I'm going to do is just resize that. Might have to turn off the recording to do this. It's just not reacting too well to the scaling options right now. Again, if I just do that a little bit more and just move it up, so just say I've got it here, I can check how the use the checker pattern to check how much stretching there is, and most likely there's going to be quite a bit of stretching, just because the way this works. But when you're painting in 3D software, this is not as problematic as it would be if you were doing this using the other method. So there are some options that you can do here. For instance, if you can select here. I wouldn't recommend that this is the best way of unwrapping at all. It's the quick way. If you haven't got enough time, you quickly do this, and then what you do is I personally prefer unwrapping the second option, which I'm going to show you in the next video, because like I mentioned in the lecture as well, it's much easier. It's good practice to unwrap properly and to have a perfect unwrap in the first place. So even if you don't have to rely too much on your 3D texturing software, just in case, because like the 3D software is they require, especially if you're using ZBrush, they require you to be quite high poly, and you need a quite powerful machine to do that. Mudbox is better in that sense, but still it's another application, and it can take up some time. Another option I'll just quickly show you, you can do this as well, is apply relax, and if you hit relax, it makes things a little bit better, but not too much. You can see there's a lot of stretching going on here. So what I'll do is I'll cut this video short, and I'll save this one separately, and then in the next video I'll show you the other option of unwrapping.